Hello, so here we are today and we're going to be talking about whether washing up liquid, or dish soap as you would say in America, affects your concrete mix. So there's some Fairy Liquid, which is a popular brand in the United Kingdom. I'm not sure if there's Fairy Liquid abroad as well, perhaps there is. So anyway, I keep getting asked about Fairy Liquid in concrete, and especially on one of the most popular video on the channel, which is to do with making concrete slabs. Well, it's called making a concrete slab or paver. And just recently a chap was on about it. You don't want to do that. I was talking about that he reckons that Fairy Liquid or washing up liquid, dish soap, makes your concrete mix weak, or can weaken the concrete. So I always thought it was okay, so I investigated further, and it seems that there's quite a bit of sort of conflictory and contradictory information on the internet about using Fairy Liquid or washing up liquid in your concrete mix, which includes only DIY builders and DIY people use Fairy Liquid in their concrete or cement. It's not a good thing to do because it weakens the concrete. And then there's other information saying that it's totally fine, and in fact in some cases, or in a lot of cases, in all cases, it actually strengthens the mix due to entrainment and small micro bubbles, which actually strengthen the concrete mix. So you've got viewpoints from either end of the spectrum. So I spoke to friends as well about it who are who use concrete professionally, and like me, perhaps on a amateur level or not so much, but I mean, I mix my concrete how a professional would mix their concrete as well. And I've never had any problems with Fairy Liquid or washing up liquid. The reason I use it is because it gives you, it's like a plasticizer type of thing, so it gives you that sort of plasticity to the concrete mix, so it flows a lot easier, fills your moulds nicely, and it's easier to work with. I mean, when I made the concrete slabs or some moulds, I will put onto the vibrating table so that takes any unwanted air bubbles out and all that sort of thing. But you only want to use a squirt. You don't put too much of the washing up liquid into your mix, just a little squirt. And like I said, I've never had any problems. There's pretty much everything in this. There's not a lot in this room, but this would have been made using Fairy Liquid in the mix, and somebody said, you know, the concrete would scratch off when it doesn't. Mine, I've never had any problems with it. My concrete mixes have always been fine, and the only problems I ever have had with mixing my concrete is getting the ratio mix wrong. So for instance, I might put too much sand in, which would weaken the mix and obviously make the mix more sandy, and just get the proportions wrong, or the cement's out of date. Things like that. Basic, fundamental things which you can easily correct. So that is the only problem I've ever had, or problems I've had with mixing up concrete. So 99% of the time when I've mixed concrete, it's been fine, fantastic and great, and stands the test of time. So for instance, in the concrete slab video, which was made in 2017, those slabs are as hard then as they were, as hard now as they were then. And well, in fact, concrete gets harder as it goes on anyway. It kind of cures for a very long time, but of course you want that optimum cure at the beginning process, and I would cure my or keep the objects moist and covered with plastic for at least a month after they've been cast. So after you've mixed the concrete, put them in the moulds, let it go hard, and then just keep them covered for a month. And that seems to be common practice, and you'll hear that from most people that are doing concrete, making concrete items. So, so like I say, in my experience, I've never had any problems with washing up liquid or dish soap in a concrete mix, just as long as you use it appropriately. You know, you just put a little bit in there, the appropriate amount. What I usually guess when I'm mixing up some concrete, so if I'm making up a big bucket of concrete, I'll just put a little squirt in, and that's it. If I was to put any more than that, then a squirt in, then perhaps it would affect the mix negatively. But like I say, I never had any problems, so I would suggest, I hope this video helps people that are confused about fairy liquid or washing up liquid in their mixes, and it would be interesting to know some more science behind it. I must admit, I do tend to use plasticizer made for plasticizing your concrete mix these days, because I do more concrete mixing when I actually get around to mixing concrete. So I have used fairy liquid in the past, or washing up liquid, dish soap, because it's convenient in the house, obviously in the kitchen, all that sort of thing. But I still have no problems using it now. I have no problems at all. So like I say, in my experience, it's been fine and beneficial to my own concrete mixing. No negative effects from using fairy liquid, because I've used it in the right amounts. And I don't think the people I've spoken to on a professional people, they've also said the same. Yes, okay, they might use plasticizer, but they have used fairy liquid or washing up liquid too in the past, and had no problems. But maybe the plasticizer is built to do, or made to do, that particular job, so maybe it's more efficient and better than fairy liquid. But like I said, fairy liquid, no problems with fairy liquid. So so I've made this video to tag on to, when people ask this question in other videos, I can just stick the link to this video on that particular video, which obviously would be to do with making concrete items, slabs, figurines, statuary, etc, etc. So I don't think there's anything more to add, but in my view, and what I know and in my experience, it seems that fairy liquid, washing up liquid, dish soap is okay, and I think I said that 1,000 times. But anyway, so it'd be interesting to hear what other people have to say about the matter. So if you've got anything to add, if you've had any negative experiences with dish soap, washing up liquid, then leave your comments in the comment section below, and vice versa if you've had no problems. I would imagine that the people that have had problems with their concrete mix, it hasn't been down to using fairy liquid. I would imagine that they probably got their mix wrong, the ratio wrong, or the cement's out of date, like I mentioned earlier. Anyway, that's it. I don't think there's anything else I can add here. So if you've got anything to say, like I say, leave some comments in the comments below, and that might be interesting. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope this helps, and we'll see you soon.